Second chapter titled as the Gospel of Creation, paragraph 62 to 100. Alright? Now we have seen what is happening. We have just now seen what is happening outside. Now, Pope is telling, already in the Bible, God has taught us how to treat Mother Earth. First two chapters of Genesis. All the instructions have been given how to treat animals, how to treat land, how to treat humans, how to treat the Panchabhutas. Everything has been given in the first two chapters of Genesis. You have already read thousands of times, but how come you ended up in this mess? How come? So here also Pope is aghast, really is shocked to see. The Bible, didn't you read or didn't you concentrate while you were reading, or you didn't see Bible at all? Nobody has seen Bible so far. That is the question what Pope is asking in the second chapter. That means, what did you read so far? For 2000 years, what did you read? A novel, or a play, or a joke? So now he is telling, open your eyes and see what is written there. Reread it, reinterpret it, reconstruct. Those are the three words. Reread the Bible, reinterpret the Bible, and reconstruct the Bible. You know why? Because whatever we interpreted, it was interpreted keeping only human in the center. Yes, anthropocentric interpretations. We did not keep anything in the biblical text, only human. In other words, human progress, human development, human future, human salvation, human redemption, everything human, as if only humans are existing on this planet. This is the mistake church has made. 2000 years. If you take Old Testament, 4000 years. If you take all humanity, 10,000 years. We have been seeing only one species on the planet. We didn't see anything else. Who is living on the planet? Humans. That's it. Today also we are telling loud and clear, 8 billion of us. 8 billion human beings on this fragile planet. This is what humans have done. Increasing only their population, destroying all other creatures. In the process we have been taught that only human is a worthy creature which has value. All the creatures created for this creature's amusement, for enjoyment, pleasure. All of them God created for the pleasure of one species, that is humans. This is how they interpreted for the past 4,000 years, Bible especially. Bible only, they took certain text, misinterpreted for human welfare only, in human favor. Anthropocentric. Now today, extreme anthropocentrism now today, taking all the rivers, put dams only for humans. But the rivers were flowing before man came, was giving water to all creatures. But now, no. All the water from hundreds of dams on Narmada, Kaveri, only humans. Yes. We don't leave any water to any creature. And as if we close our eyes on, my God, 2 million, 20 million years, that river was giving water to that forest, that animals, the whole ecosystem depend on this river. How come can't one human thing? We can't build bridges. No. You take water, Humans also take water, but not building bridges and take water. As long as it flows to your agricultural land, you take it. Your share, you can use it, but not putting a bridge. Yeah. Till it and keep it. Genesis 2:15. You can use nature as your resource, but you can't abuse nature. As Mahatma Gandhi put it, earth has everything for human need, but not for his greed, he says. So, greedy, till it and keep it, 2:15 Genesis. I'm going to show you how Pope is interpreting all this text. That means it's a part of rereading it, reconstructing it, and reinterpreting it. So it's a new theology is coming, new way of looking at the Bible. So far we have seen like this Bible, and we have interpreted all wrong interpretation. 2000 years of lying, misleading humanity, telling only lies. So this kind of interpretation is wrong. Paragraph number 67, Pope is writing. I'm going to read it for you. He is accepting, yes, we have made a mistake. Church has made a big mistake of showing only human species is the image of God. Rest of them all you can exploit. It's wrong. If you take all our libraries, only anthropocentric interest, nothing else. Nobody talks about soil or other creatures, only man. Sad. It's a primitive philosophy. It's a parasitic philosophy. Human being is not only a species, it's a parasite. I would call it selfish ecology. Human philosophy, man-centered philosophy and theology, for me it is selfish ecology. 100% completely wrong notion of philosophy. Lie. A big cosmic lie. Anthropocentrism is a cosmic lie. Yes. It is really a sabotage. And we have done a big rebellion against nature. Pope John Paul II writes it. So carrying out his role as a co-creator with God, he takes the place of God and thus provokes a rebellion on the part of nature, which is more tyrannized than governed by him. That's a Centesimus Annus. Paragraph number 36, he writes, man is the biggest lie on the planet. He has misinterpreted, abused. He is tyrannized, he says. That means it's like a King Nero who persecuted the Christians. Tyranny. Tyranny means Kodungolaj in Tamil. So man is the dictator. That's a very profound words to describe about humanity. You and me are dictators. So now we are going to forget about all the theology you have learned from the past. You are going to open your heart now, reread the Bible and reinterpret each and every word. You should know which text we have been misinterpreting. Pope is giving all of it. And then reconstruct for the future. So your mission is going to be on this chapter. So this is a chapter which gives you the blueprint for you to go and preach the good news. This is the fifth gospel. Yes. Written by Pope Francis. So it is a main teaching of the church. The encyclicals are all about main teaching of the church. It's the magisterium. Alright? Not exhortations are not magisterium. They are only giving advice or just discussing some points like that document on marriage, no? Amorally or something. That is exhortation. Exhortation means discussion. Okay? Friendly, fatherly advice. But here, this is it. This is the mainstream teaching. So this is what we are going to preach. So in other words, it becomes part of the Bible. Yeah. You can't change it. You can't change it. It has become a mainstream teaching of the church. So next 1,000 years, yes, if some other document comes, it has come only after Leo the 13th. He wrote Rerum Novarum in 1820 or something. So after that it is coming more than 200 years now. Okay? Now 200 years you get one document. It is replacing now. So you have to wait another 200, 300 years to get another document of this nature. So today we have this. So this is going to be the blueprint for us. Okay, the light offered by faith, 63 and 64. In other words, Pope is telling, already the Bible has given you the light. It has already given you every instruction possible how to relate with the natural world. All those three relationships are celebrated in the first 2 chapters of Genesis. Our relationship with God, relationship with the neighbor, our relationship with the creation. Because we were living together. God was in the Garden of Eden, human and creation. Everything was together. So, it was given to you. How could you say, we don't know? It's a big lie. It's a cosmic lie when you say we don't know. We have ended up in a big mess, as if nothing has been taught religiously, as if God never taught us how to relate with the earth. The wisdom of the biblical accounts. That is also large discussion there. I should have put in red color. 65 to 75. What was the biggest discussion in the previous chapter? You remember? What was the biggest one? Loss of? You should have in the fingertips. Loss of biodiversity. That comprises 32 to 42. 10 paragraphs. Now here, 65 to 75. That is the longest discussion. So that means Pope is having focused on this accounts. What does Bible say? Especially chapter 1 and chapter 2. All the instructions have been given. For example, I will give you. Listen to me carefully and you can write also. Number 1, 126. God has given you how to treat everything in the creation. The birds, the fishes, the animals on the surface of the planet. Exercise dominion, that's what he said. That is the thing where people misinterpreted that word for human self-interest. So they thought only human can use them. In Tamil also we say, Padaithan Padaipai Manuvukkaga. 100% biggest lie is that. Padaithan Padaipai Manuvukkaga. Big lie, cosmic lie. That is not true. He didn't create for one species. He created for everything flourishing. They should flourish, we should also flourish. So dominion means love, kindness, mercy, empathy, affection, forgiveness. God's dominion is this. Love and empathy, compassion and forgiveness. But we interpreted human dominion. That means exploiting, pillaging, controlling, beating, killing, all these human interpretations of dominion. So our actions, human activity became evil. Okay? So now that is the interpretation what our theologians have given for the past 4,000 years. So that's why we built this kind of society. After all, that 9-letter word, dominion, D-O-M-I-O, dominion, D-O-M-I-O, N-I-O-N. 8 or 9? Calculate them. Dominion. 8. D-O-M-I-N-I-O-N. 8-letter word responsible for all the destructions in the world. The first chapter is the outcome of this 8-letter word called dominion. God did not mean it. Bible did not mean it. It is human interpretation that meant it. Yes. Yeah. A evil theologian, a psychopath, a neurotic theologian or a philosopher, he understood Bible like this and he taught to the people some 4,000 years ago, and they followed. Yeah, we are image of God. That is the word. We misled them. We are image of God. We are little less than an angel. Psalm 8. It's all inflating your ego. And then you inflate with the air. You big head, big stomach, big air, big everything. At last you are going to breaking point. That is what happened now. Inflated. Today is a blast. This is what had happened. So image of God, that is what destroyed us. Yes. Anybody would call this species as an image of God? Only a blind people can call this human person. Anybody would call this image of God? Not with the proper state of mind. Nobody will call. Only some psychopaths will say this is the image of God. 8 billion people. We are image of demon. That is what they should have put it. But we are not image of God at all. For the actions, what you are committed, what we are doing right now, we are far from it. The third is mystery of the universe, 76 to 83. What do we understand, man? If I ask you, what do you understand? Still those 3 fundamental questions we are asking. Where do we come from? What are we doing? Where are we going? Jesus came and gone. Buddha came and gone. Mahavira came and gone. Prophets, big sages have come and gone. Amalraj came and gone. Samarakon came and gone. Everybody came and gone, but still we are searching the default questions. Where do I come from? What am I doing? Where am I going? These are the fundamental questions even today. 4 million years ago, these 3 questions our ancestors, they were searching for. We are also, Jesus also came and gone. But nobody is satisfied. Still we are again searching. 3 questions. And then in that process, what all this? What sun is? What stars? What is the space? What is dark matter? What is a black hole? What is a pulsar? What is a celestial phenomenon? Comets. What is inside the ocean? What is inside the earth? Even with all science and technology, we are unable to gather any information, any truth. Scientific community is divided. Nobody comes to a consensus. Everybody has some information. That's it. But there is no truth. Again we are haunted by fragments. That's it. Only fragmented knowledge. There is no unified system of understanding. Yeah. So Pope is telling the same thing. Science has cut the earth into half pieces and then they have shown. But still there is no truth. There is something beyond that. Stephen Hawking, the famous astrophysicist, everybody knows him. So he can tell everything, all the answers he can say. He can tell why all these systems are doing that, he can tell. He can show you what is carbon cycle, what is nitrogen cycle, he can show what is black hole, what is a star made up of, what is a time travel, everything he can say. Yeah. But he can't say why. He can say what, but why he can't say. I mean, sun, it is there, earth is tilting round and round and round, it goes around. So he can tell what is the theory behind the or the rotation of the sun. All right, but why it is doing, he can't answer that part of it. Why? So you ask question why, you can't give any answer. You can say what, how. You can answer everything. Why? Nobody can answer. So that is the mystery of the universe. Why he created. Yes. Why all these things behave in this way? Why? Yeah. You can't explain that. So that is the mystery. So Pope is simply telling, science can go only that far. They can unlock everything, 99.9%. They can unlock all mysteries. But only 0.01, that is the mystery. Still it is mystery. So Pope differentiates two terms. One is nature, another one is creation. Nature you can dissect. It's the domain of science. People can analyze nature. But creation, it's a mystery. You understand that? Nature, it is a natural selection. Okay, it's evolution. Everything comes into place through the time. But here, there is the creator. There is a copyright holder. So he is having, in a definite time, he created from nothing, ex nihilo, we call it in philosophy. Out of nothing, that is ex nihilo. From there he brought them to existence. And he nurtures them. He is with them. He is not only God of creation, he is God in creation. And he sustains it. And he lives with it until the end of time. Okay, Jesus promised, lo, I am with you until the end of time. So he is with us, he is Immaculate. So he owns it and he defends even the poor and the burdened with justice. There is justice there. It's a God's justice is there. Yeah. So we are not alone here. Somebody is after us, loving us. So that is the difference what Pope is telling. So creation is a mystery. Nature can be understood. Creation can't be understood. When there is mystery, you try to accept it as God. Yeah. When there is no mystery, we know everything. Oh, there's nothing there. But mystery allows God also to exist in the part of mystery. So that is what he writes. And then the message of each creature in the harmony of creation. This is the new teaching from the church. You know what? There are two values humans are accustomed. One is instrumental value. Another one is intrinsic value. So you have to understand the difference between the both in order to understand the message of each creature in the harmony of creation. This is a new teaching from the church. I mean, they are taught indirectly, but directly it comes in ethics. Yeah. So bioethics, I call it. That part is bioethics, a profound bioethical writings from Pope Francis, like Artha Shastra. You know the Indian ancient document called Artha Shastra, written by Kaudilya, yeah, Chanakya we call it. So in the Chandragupta Maurya time, that is 500 BCE, that book is known as the ethic book, the political ethics. So in that book, you have fourth chapter, completely the animals dedicated. The elephant should not be abused. You should build a beautiful conservation area for them to take bath, live happily, and provide healthy food for them weekly once. Doctor comes and checks them. They should live in natural environment, not in zoos. So that kind of stuff, ethics. So it's a very profound ethical book, Arthasastra. So today Pope is writing a beautiful bioethical book. So far there was a complaint from the theologians. Church has not yet spoken on creation enough. Yeah, they have not written about creation enough. I mean, we are the last ones to come and talk about it. Everybody has talked. They talked much earlier. Even political search was there. 1992 itself, Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, United Nations Convention on Climate Change. But church never. It took, after 30 years, Pope Francis came and wrote an encyclical in 2015. By the time we have crossed already 350 parts per million. By 2015, we have crossed to almost 385 to 400 parts per million. So now Pope has pledged 1.6 billion people in favor of protecting the creation. All is faithful, Protestants and Catholics together, and he is inviting the people of the goodwill. That means this is not an ethical document. Laudato Si is not the religious document. It is ethical document. It is not a Christian document per se. It is completely what is that? What to say? Aram in Tamil. Aranul, we call it. Aranul enna theriyuma? Theriyala? Arathai பற்றி எழுதப்பட்ட நூல். In those times அறநூல் சங்க காலத்தில் அவையாரும் அறநூல் எழுதியிருக்காங்க இல்லையா? அது மாதிரி பல அற நூல்கள் இருக்கின்ற நீதி நூல். ஸோ அந்த கேட்டகரியில் தான் வரும் லவ்தாத்தோ சி. It is not a religious document. Yeah, I told you, it's an ethical document. Ethics is good for all people, 9 billion people. Ethics is good. We all need ethic. Then we need to have values examined and morality examined. So that also reread, reinterpret and reconstruct even our ethical perceptions. Have you ever studied ethics? No? So have you ever come across instrumental value and intrinsic value? Did you come across or no? You don't seem to recognize those two words. They are very, very important words. Instrumental value means what is useful to humans. So that is called instrumental value. Coconut trees we plant here because we love to drink tender coconuts, and we used to use coconut oil, etc., etc. So we draw benefits from them. So that's why we plant coconuts. We value them. That is called instrumental, because they are instruments that develop our own lifestyle, or add to our lifestyle, to our health benefits. There are a lot of benefits from coconuts. So that's why we call it instrumental value. The best example is Jesus' example itself I can give you. The wheat and the weeds. You know that parable of the wheat and the weeds? Yeah, the wheat is the instrumental value. Humans make bread out of it. So we draw benefits from wheat. So we want it. But the second one is intrinsic value. That is called the weed. That we don't understand. You see, weed is also a plant like wheat. If weed has the privilege to exist, weed is also having the privilege to exist. It is right to exist. There are three fundamental rights for all organisms on earth, even for the non-living and the living. One is to be. To be. To be means to exist. Number two, to flourish. Flourish means you give birth to your own offspring and then you try to promote your own species life. Okay, that is selfish. We call it known as a selfish gene. Everybody has their own genes get promoted. Everybody wants that. Kakikku than punji pun punji in Tamil we say. That is the flourishing. Every creature has to flourish. The last one is to fulfill. To fulfill their role for the common good. Every creature has a role to play. Even a small butterfly in the garden, it has got a role for the common good of the universe. And you and me, that is the purpose. Not to become priest, not to go as a missionary, not to go as a rector, provincial, or a rich man or a poor man. Our thing is to fulfill my role. What role you have to say? You have to find out what role I have to play for the betterment of this cosmos. Yeah. There comes the big difference. 8 billion people, all of them have misunderstood self-interest. All of them are self-interest. But our role is common interest. We should make a big ship, not a ship, leap. Shift is very simple. You have to make a leap. Jump. Otherwise, we are going to destroy the planet. In the 8 years' time, anyway, it's going to be destroyed. Nothing we can do. Just watch it. That's it. And adapt. Teach the people to adapt to the changes in the environment. So the message of each creature in the harmony of creation is very profound. This chapter is a must. You should by heart it because profound writings from Pope. Unbelievable writing. Even Shakespeare can't write. Shakespeare, I would rate only second to the popes. Popes are the number one writers of all time. Number one, but nobody reads them. Yeah. Nobody reads them. This is written to the bishops. First of all, it is intended to the bishops. Every encyclical is to the bishop, then only priest. But no bishop reads them. Nobody. Only the secretary reads and updates. The secretary doesn't even understand English properly. And he reads and he will call his friend, please tell me. The other friend, completely zero mark, he will tell, this is the encyclical saying. And he goes and tells the bishop. So bishop has already educated in the document called laudato. So this is how things go. Such a profound writings. If bishops have contemplated on them, if they have written in the newspapers or in magazines, periodicals, by this time church would have been taken a good care of the earth. We would have not ended up in this present condition. Yeah. 2000 years, popes have done a beautiful job of writing them, shedding some light, inspiration, awakening. But the middle bishops, they didn't do their job. And bishops are at fault. Not even priests. Priest is secondary. Bishops have to tell the priest. But here, priest is reading and telling to the bishops. It is their job. Encyclicals is meant for them. Directly. They have to teach. Because it's a magisterium of the church. Priests are not included in the magisterium. Bishops are included in the magisterium. So they only can teach. But they don't read them. Even now, how many bishops have read them? Very handful. They don't believe in global warming. Bishops don't believe in the destruction of the planet because God will come second time and save the planet, save everything. So God is going to come. Why do you worry? You continue as the way you are. God will come and save us. Universal communion. So what is the universal communion? We enter into relationship with everything. Everything is a relationship. Yeah. There's nothing else. Only we commune. Our relationship with creation means commune. Yeah. We become a family. That's it. St. Francis of Assisi, cosmic family, brother sun, sister moon, brother wind, sister water, mother sister earth, brother fire, brother wolf, sister lamb. It's all relational inclusion. There is nothing is excluded in the cosmic family. Everything, even from the sun to the microscopic bacteria under the soil, is one single family. We are brothers and sisters. That's it. We are the last brother, we are the last sister. That's it. All of them, elder brothers and elder sisters. We are the last in this family. The common destination of goods. Here Pope discusses 80% of the resources we have already exhausted. Okay? Even after the exhausting 80%, 1 billion people at the bottom of the pile. You exhausted 80% already, you took it. Then did you attain equity? No. There is so many rungs in the ladder of the society. Poor, very poor, poor, middle, lower middle, upper middle, rich, super rich. So many rungs. 80% gone. Do 800 crore people live in equality? No. No. We didn't achieve it. Only 20% of the resources remain. And how the future generations, thousands of generations are going to be born for this. Our grandchildren is going to bring many children. So where are the resources? 20 remaining resources. Can they live far into the future? That is what the common destination of goods. Only rich people have taken everything. Destination means everybody has right to have something of what God has created. That is the point. The last one is our role model, Jesus, 96 to 100 paragraphs. Jesus is our only model how to develop the creation-centered model of theology. That's it. First, anthropocentric, man-centered theology made this planet to go berserk, to be destroyed. Man-centered theology has given us impetus, energy to destroy everything. But now the creation-centered theology can see everything as our own family. We understand here that if you destroy them, we will be destroyed eventually. So the destruction of soil is the destruction of myself, because I am made up of soil. We are soil beings. So when you spit on soil, not only on the face of God, you spit on you, because you are full of soil. So actually, by desecrating soil, you are desecrating water, you are 75% water, and you are polluting, destroying your own body. That's why Tirumula told Andam and Pindam. Pindam is made up of Panjabhutas. Andathilla, the Pindathilla, Pindathilla, the Andathilla, Tirumula. Such a beautiful poem, that one. So the gaze of Jesus is trying to tell this. 6 paragraphs are brilliantly written. Not 6, 4, 5 paragraphs. 5 paragraphs are brilliantly written for us to copy and paste in our lives. So Jesus is our role model when it comes to the gospel of creation, how to preach gospel of creation. Jesus himself, so it was. So some of the paragraphs we can see and go for lunch. So Pope expresses awe and wonder when he sees the second chapter, the gospel of creation. This is a 63, 64 note. What kind of light faith is offering? Let us listen a little bit. Furthermore, although this encyclical welcomes dialogue with everyone so that together we can seek paths of liberation, I would like from the outset to show how faith convictions can offer Christians and some other believers as well ample motivation to care for nature and for the most vulnerable of their brothers and sisters. The simple fact of being human moves people to care for the environment of which they are a part. Christians, in their turn, realize that their responsibility within creation and their duty towards nature and the Creator are an essential part of their faith. See there? It is not something you have to go and study, get degree, and then come and talk, caring for nature. It's an essential part of our faith. When you are baptized, you are given the responsibility to care the earth. It is good for humanity and the world at large when we believers better recognize the ecological commitments which stem from our convictions. So we have come to the wisdom of the biblical accounts. The creation accounts in the book of Genesis contain in their own symbolic and narrative language profound teachings about human existence and its historical reality. They suggest that human life is grounded in three fundamental and closely intertwined relationships. See there, with God, with our neighbor, and with the earth itself. According to the Bible, these three vital relationships have been broken, both outwardly within us. This rupture is sin. So, actually 67, paragraph number 67, come on, write it. You read it when you go there. The Laudato Si document is here in the library. When you come this afternoon, bring the Laudato Si document here for the reference. All right? In the library. Get the book there. Laudato Si document. You understand what I mean? Yes. Who is in charge? Who is the leader here? Get that thing this afternoon. The 67th paragraph is very profound. Pope is telling it is true that church has misinterpreted the text of the Bible. So now I am advising to the faithful not to interpret wrongly. It needs to be studied and then consulted. At last we need to interpret together. But not simply anthropocentric interest is destroy the planet. So now we have to interpret in a different light. So Pope Francis is telling in that 67. We will read that paragraph this afternoon. Okay, I talked about mystery, no? So listen to me. The ultimate destiny of the universe is in the fullness of God, which has already been attained by the risen Christ, the measure of the maturity of all things. Here we can add yet another argument for rejecting every tyrannical and irresponsible domination of human beings over other creatures. The ultimate purpose of other creatures is not to be found in us. See there? Padaithan, padaipai, manidanukkaga. See there? The ultimate purpose of other creatures is not to be found in us. Rather, all creatures are moving forward with us and through us toward a common point of arrival, which is God. In that transcendent fullness, where the risen Christ embraces and illumines all things, human beings endowed with intelligence and love and drawn by the fullness of Christ are called to lead all creatures back to their Creator. That is our responsibility. In other words, we need to exercise our faithfulness, responsibility, and accountability. There are three things. We are known as the steward. So the steward characteristics are three: responsibility, faithfulness, accountability. See the message of each creature in the harmony of creation. How nicely Pope is writing. God has written a precious book whose letters are the multitude of created things present in the universe. The Canadian bishops rightly pointed out that no creature is excluded from this manifestation of God. From panoramic vistas to the tiniest living form, nature is a constant source of wonder and awe. It is also a continuing revelation of the divine. The bishops of Japan, for their part, made a thought-provoking observation to sense each creature singing the hymn of its existence is to live joyfully in God's love and hope. Actually, Pope is telling there are two books. That is not the Old Testament and New Testament. One is the book of words, another one is the book of works. Book of words, book of works. Actually, the first book was written by God Himself. That is the book of works. All these things God has written with His hand. All the creatures are letters like A, B, C, D. Mountain is a letter. Ocean is a letter, river is a letter, tree is a letter, soil is a letter. A, B, C, D. So, book of works. That book, 15 billion years old. 15 billion from the beginning. This is only 5,000. Man wrote it. When man disappears, that book also disappears totally. But that book will continue forever. That book, not only human can read, also other creatures can read. Birds can read. Snake can read. They understand. All animals and plants, everything can read them, understand. They're written by God Himself, so they understand the word of the book of works. Here, only humans. That also we didn't understand properly. And also here, this book can be misinterpreted by humans. But in that book, there is no misinterpretation. It is direct from God. It is given to you. It's a source. It's a truth. Nothing but the truth. That book live forever and ever on. Yeah. So today, we are only reading man-made book, God-written book. We are unable to read. That is sad. All creatures are reading. So it is up to us to read that. That's why God has written precious book. See, whose letters are the multitude of created things present in the universe. So you should develop a nice dialogue or a nice sermon on that. Book of words and book of works. Okay, this is the one letter. God has written one letter, the frog. Okay, the universal communion. Moreover, when our hearts are authentically open to universal communion, this sense of fraternity excludes nothing and no one. It follows that our indifference or cruelty towards fellow creatures of this world sooner or later affects the treatment we mete out to other human beings. We have only one heart, and the same wretchedness which leads us to mistreat an animal will not be long in showing itself in our relationships with other people. Every act of cruelty towards any creature is contrary to human dignity. We can hardly consider ourselves to be fully loving if we disregard any aspect of reality. Peace, justice, and the preservation of creation are three absolutely interconnected themes which cannot be separated and treated individually without one again falling into the reductionism. Everything is related. and we human beings are united as brothers and sisters on a wonderful pilgrimage woven together by the love of God as for each of His creatures, and which also unites us in fond affection with brother sun, sister moon, brother river, and mother earth. Yeah. This is the last paragraph, I think. Yeah. So this is the common destination of goods. Whether believers or not, we are agreed today that the earth is essentially a shared inheritance whose fruits are meant to benefit everyone. For believers, this becomes a question of fidelity to the Creator, since God created the world for everyone. Hence, every ecological approach needs to incorporate a social perspective. All right? All these things. I mean, even though it is in America, if you need to get something from America, soil, water, we can get it. Because God has created everything. From India, Himalayas, it doesn't belong to us. It belongs to the world. Like Amazon forest in South America, doesn't belong to South America. It belongs to the whole world. Also, the Western Ghats in India doesn't belong to India. It belongs to the whole community of earth. So that is our common home. The petrol, diesel, all Muslim countries, they take everything, but in fact, it has to be shared with present and the future generations. So this is the 96 and 100 gaze of Jesus. That is you can read and understand because you are expert on that. That's all. So now you understood now more or less the C aspect of the encyclical. Did you understand a little bit? Any doubts here in the 2 chapters? Any doubts you want to ask or something? I can answer. No problem at all. So we have finished 2 chapters. This afternoon we will enter into Judge. Pretty easy. The way we put on the PowerPoint with the scale, it's easy to understand. If I talk, you will lose everything. Since you have seen, now 2 chapters, now you know more or less what Pope is discussing. Don't you? Yes. Yeah, now it's clear now. So far you have been thinking what Pope is writing, laudato si, big things. Nothing, ordinary things. And also we think, is it an encyclical? It sounds like some science document. So today, there is no difference between science also becomes sacred. There is no profane, there is no sacred. Everything is sacred. We are surrounded by holiness. That's it. Environment is a holiness. So we are surrounded constantly by that. Even air is something holy. The way it goes and purifies and comes out. Everything we see holy. So that is what the Laudato Si document is all about. So you have to understand, you have to feel, then only you are able to give to others. Any doubts?